Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been a while since I've posted a proper video. Some of you will have got notifications about the one I posted the other day of a gig, which was really just for promoting the gig. Sorry it's been a while since I've updated you on how things are going and what's happening with going abroad and etc etc. I'm going to try and update you as quickly as I can. So first of all, the title of the video, or at least part of it, why I sold the Bulletproof camper. So you'll remember that I bought it in summer last year, 2022, and I was planning to take it abroad. I was planning to do a road trip to Southeast Asia. The reason for going by road was because I didn't really want to fly my dogs, and a Bulletproof Defender seemed like a good option because obviously some places would be a bit sketchy. But when I decided to go, things weren't anywhere near as sketchy as they are in the world right now. Things have changed a lot in a lot of places, but I'll get to that in a second. So basically I had an original plan of how I was going to get to where I was going, and then for whatever reason I couldn't go that way. So I had a plan B, and for whatever reason I couldn't go that way. So I had a plan C, and for whatever reason I couldn't go that way, and then like a plan D. And basically the concern became, if I get arrested for something stupid, which after research wouldn't really be that unlikely, what happens to the dogs? So I mean, the whole reason for going by road was to keep the dogs safe, because I just don't really like the idea of flying them, and that was the whole reason for going by road, to get to where I wanted to go. So eventually I had to resign myself to the fact that at this point in time in the world, it's not really a very safe option to be trying to drive halfway around it. And basically, from talking to people who would know and from a lot of research, I think the probability of the four of us getting there in one piece would not be very high. So I was extremely gutted, really gutted, but I took the difficult decision to sell the Bulletproof Defender. I didn't mind, there were only ever 300 of them made to the spec that I had, and I didn't mind taking up one of them, if you like, because it was going to keep hopefully us safe, myself and my dogs, as we drove half around the world. But apart from that, obviously there is a war going on just now, and those particular vehicles are very useful to Ukraine. They have been buying lots of them, so I put it up for sale because I didn't feel as though it was really justified, for me anyway. You know, it's not a dig at anyone that has them as toys or whatever, you know, each to their own, but for me anyway, I didn't really feel that there was any good reason for taking up one of them and tying up the money for something that could well be used elsewhere. So basically, I sold it to a Ukrainian charity, and it's currently in Ukraine being used as an ambulance, if you like. It's been used to rescue soldiers from the front lines by a medical charity, and I will put their name in the description. So I sold it to them. I could have done what other people have done, painted it and driven it to the border and sold it for twice as much money, but I wasn't really interested in trying to profit from a charity or from the conflict, to be perfectly honest. And I suppose that kind of is a dig at those who are doing that. So basically, I sold it to the charity. They gave me an offer, and they said, "Would you take that, or would you need more?" You probably know I have a background in the motor trade and car sales and sales management. So as soon as somebody knows that to you, you know that that's not their best offer. So don't say that to people. But because it was a charity, I said, that's fine, I'll just take that. So I drove it down to England for them as well, just to help out. And yeah, so that's it away. And yeah, so the next plan was maybe to go to Europe instead, and so I bought a C-Class Mark, which is the one that you will have seen if you've watched the paint correction video series that I did on that. And then so I'd already sold everything from my house, and then I sold everything that wouldn't fit in the C-Class Merc, and obviously when I gave up the unit in around about January time, basically in January time I came pretty close to having a total breakdown. I've always been really open about the fact that I've had some several battles with depression, because I basically feel that the more people who are open about it, the more guys will talk about it, and hopefully that would reduce the number of people who end up committing suicide. And that's particularly something I'm reminded of a lot as one of the things that I do, as I've done as a minister. And actually, in fact, one of the things I'm doing tomorrow is conducting a funeral for a young male who committed suicide. So yeah, although, as soon as you say mental illness, whether it's depression, or whatever, people instantly hear crazy. You just have to live with the fact that, people are, a lot of people are kind of ignorant to the difference between neurosis and psychosis. Neurosis, this is really like broadly speaking, but neurosis is things like anxiety and depression. And actually some people would argue that stress is a form of mental illness. So if you've ever been stressed, then you've kind of suffered from the same sort of mental illness. And then on the other, side of the spectrum, you have things that involve psychosis, which would be bipolar 1, schizophrenia, things like that. So anyway, so basically I didn't really get that much done after all the work to take the cars to the unit, all the work I did to the unit. I didn't actually get that much progress made with the cars at the unit, so that was another tough choice. I did live in the Defender for 3 months, but that was another tough choice, was to give up the unit, because I just wasn't functioning very well in terms of being able to do anything really. So and it was depleting assets. I was living on money from selling things that I owned, and stuff from a house that I hadn't sold yet. Basically, I wasn't earning money, so every month I was there was obviously reducing the amount of money that I had. So that was a difficult decision as well. So I kept all my tools, all my paint stuff, so I still got everything that I need to restore a car, which is I'm planning on continuing to do. So if you've enjoyed the car videos, you'll be pleased to know that I'm still going to be doing that. But yeah, I got rid of obviously the scissor lift and the bigger things like the compressor and just everything that I couldn't fit in the car. So that was around about January, February time that I got rid of that. The Bulletproof Defender went about the same time, and I ended up staying with family for about 5 months, and that's about how long it took to get back to functioning pretty well, and until now, when I've been kind of starting doing stuff here again for a couple of months, and now I'm back to being able to work full time and everything, so that's great. So going abroad, if the black Golf had sold during summer, then I would have been away, but obviously because I wasn't earning and because I wasn't planning on staying here, I was obviously burning through money. So by I think July or something like that, July, August, the black Golf hadn't sold. I'd burned through quite a lot of money, and I just didn't have enough money to go even to Europe. So the black Golf has sold today, so that's great, but I'm not gonna be going anywhere right now. So yeah, I kind of thought I'll be maybe just staying here for a little bit longer, and then I'll be able to go, because I've been promising myself this for at least 2 years. Just leaving and starting some businesses abroad, starting over abroad kind of thing. So basically I'm now living in Ayrshire. I was lucky enough that I had some friends who had a flat in Ayrshire, and they were happy to let me stay here and get on my feet and stuff like that. So that's been great, and they're really good friends who I appreciate. And so I've started a company, and I've started doing work in Ayrshire again. So, and my current plan is I'm currently planning on being here for a few years. I as much as I would really like to go abroad right now and be starting to build business and build income abroad, there's an awful lot of stuff going on just now. At the end of the video, I'll tell you about the different directions I was planning on going to get to where I wanted to go. Not everyone's going to be bothered about the detail of that, so I'll leave it to the end so you can just cut off at that point if you want. But yeah, I think obviously going to Europe would be a lot safer, but the point that I was gonna go, I'd quit my job a year ago, just under a year ago, last October, so it was a good time to leave. I didn't have any companies at that point because I stopped them before the pandemic, to move into property, which is another whole story. And so it wasn't like I was kind of leaving anything, I wouldn't have left the career that I was in to go abroad, and it would be more difficult to leave, companies that were doing well to go abroad. So now that I've started building up business again, building up an income for myself, I'm just going to do here what I was going to do abroad. And when I got abroad, what I was going to do was just go for it and use the experience that I had to get where I would like to be, back to where I was before the pandemic, and then up from there. So there we go. So living in Ayrshire, and I've started doing gigs again. I used to own an entertainment company and supplied lots of venues with entertainment. Was out 4 to 7 nights a week for about 7 years. Haven't done a lot over the last 7 or 8 years. I probably kind of sickened myself of it, to be honest. And I'm kind of now at the point where I'm actually really enjoying it again, so that's good. So I've got a few regular nights per week, and definitely need to pick up a couple more. And one of the parts of my job that I found really rewarding in ministry was conducting funerals. So that's something that I'm continuing to do as well. And yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, but it is something that I find very rewarding. So that's kind of what I'm doing during the week. Car restoration stuff. So now that the black golf is gone, that kind of opens up possibilities for getting another project on the go. And basically, I'd like to continue doing car restorations as a hobby, or I think probably what I'm going to do this time is actually do something accident damaged. I know that a lot of people that watch the channel will enjoy that as well. So yeah, I'm quite keen to do something like that. So there's obviously some things that need to fall into place with that. One of them is having somewhere to do it. There's possibility of maybe doing it with somebody else, and they already have a place. So I'm not sure which way that's, whether that's definitely happening or not yet, but if that works out great, then that'll be great. Working together with another guy, and doing, basically fixing something that's accident damaged and recording it, showing you everything, all the process for the channel, like I did with the golfs. So I know there's a lot of Mark II fans that watch the channel, and I did enjoy having a midlife crisis and buying 4 of the cars that I had when I was 18. I did enjoy restoring them and driving them again, but there's a lot of cars that I like other than Mark II Golfs. So, and a lot of cars that I've been lucky enough to own. They're a lot faster than a Mark II Golf. So, kind of picture stuff a lot faster probably for going forward. I think that's probably about it. I just wanted to put up a quick video to explain why I haven't started posting videos from a road trip heading abroad. I wasn't in a position to go for a number of reasons beyond my control, really, and things would have had to fall. A number of things would have had to fall into place at the right time for that to happen. Really, just sell the golfs. So, and being fit and healthy enough, kind of thing. So, yeah, things that I couldn't really control when they would sell or when I would be pretty much back to normal or close to normal. So, yeah, obviously it's a bit disappointing, and yeah, sorry if anyone feels disappointed that they didn't get to see the road trip in the Defender. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to keep producing some content that will be interesting to watch, and who knows what that could be apart from restoring cars. We'll see. I did kind of start the Rookie Entrepreneur series, so I'll maybe post some more videos on that, talking, just maybe some stuff that might be helpful for people who've never had a business before and are thinking about it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna I'll stop the main bit of the video here, but I'm actually just gonna grab my other phone and get Google Maps up because my geography is terrible, and I'll explain to you where I was gonna go or what my route options were to get to Southeast Asia and why it wasn't possible to go those ways.